In the Constitution, signed by George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, and many more, the Second Amendment states, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." According to everytownresearch.org, since 2013, there have been over 1,300 school shootings, resulting over 400 deaths due to the incidents. However, is it possible that there's so many school shootings that one goes unnoticed? A shooting so unknown that it's caused a huge debate about whether it's even real. This is the 2006 volleyball incident. The first currently known documentation on the incident was on 4chan on July 2nd, 2017, over a decade after the incident, when an anonymous user posted a thread saying, "How does one live after taking the red pill?" on the 2006 volleyball incident. Most users made jokes about the incident, but another anonymous user gave context to the incident. Supposedly, a gunman shot and killed 14 people during a 2006 volleyball high school game in South Dakota or Nebraska. Everything was covered up, and it was never reported in the press, and it's been forgotten by everyone. If you were there and say you remember seeing 14 people die that night, you're labeled crazy, etc. Personally, if this did happen, I wonder if they had someone in mind that they wanted to kill, and the others were just unfortunate bystanders. But we'll never know. Some users had theories on the incident. Maybe it's an extreme case of the Mandela effect. It happened in the original timeline, but it didn't happen in the new timeline. No one can remember the dead students, including their families, because they are not dead now. Just a thought. Another user said, "My friend has this theory that Sandy Hook was a social experiment to see if they could convince the public that something happened when it didn't. I suspect this is something similar. I could see it being done as a way to test something like brainwashing, mind control, or even the power of suggestion, i.e. convince the families and witnesses that nothing happened, the kid never existed, etc." One 4chan user claimed that the perpetrator was a male American Indian, but it's possible the user is misremembering the incident with another shooting in Red Lake, where the perpetrator was an American Indian who did a shooting around 2005. The next known documenting on the incident was a whole month later on 4chan on April 4th, when an anonymous user posted a chart filled with conspiracy theories, giving the caption, "How enlightened are you?" The OP gives more context on the 2006 volleyball incident entrance on the chart. According to the OP, the story goes that a small explosion or a mass shooting occurred at a volleyball game somewhere in North Dakota, South Dakota, or Nebraska. A newspaper at a gas station in Nebraska reported a shooting in a small town. It was reported in Kadoka, a city in South Dakota, and supposedly 17 to 24 people died in the shooting. Every now and then, there's Reddit posts and 4chan posts posting about the 2006 volleyball incident with the same similar details, but a lot of people have the theory that this incident is a Mandela effect. A Mandela effect is a widespread false memory that a large number of people claim to remember. Some examples of the Mandela effect is the Bernstein Bears being spelled with an A instead of an E, and Mr. Monopoly not having a monocle. The theory goes that there's been many shootings where people are misremembering a false shooting that occurred during a volleyball game. There was also another shooting that occurred in 2006 at Platte Canyon High School, which is in Colorado. 53-year-old Dwayne Roger Morrison took 7 females hostage and sexually assaulted them and released 4 of them. Before police could break into the classroom where the assault occurred, Morrison shot hostage Emily Keys in the head before committing suicide. The story goes more in depth if you're interested in the story. However, there's discrepancies between the shooting and the volleyball shooting. First, a volleyball game never happened during the shooting. Secondly, this took place in Colorado, which is not one of the listed possible states that the volleyball incident could have taken place at. And thirdly, only 2 died in the shooting overall, while people claimed the volleyball incident had 17 to 24 people die. According to schoolsecurity.org, on October 5th, 2006 in Cleveland Heights, a shooting occurred during a volleyball game where an 18-year-old was shot during a robbery gone wrong. This is the only mention of a shooting during a volleyball game. However, this took place in Ohio, and nobody died. It's also possible that people are mixing up the volleyball shooting with another shooting in 2006 at West Nickel Mines School. Gunman Charles Carl Roberts IV took hostages and killed 5 girls aged 6 to 13 before committing suicide. Just like the shooting at Platte Canyon, there's some discrepancies to this one, like the fact that this took place in Pennsylvania, and no volleyball game was held during the shooting. On June 14th, 2024, YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers, real name Mutahar, posted a video titled, "I found a disturbing cult website on Deep Web 209. In the video, at around 3 minutes and 40 seconds, Mutahar comes across a post talking about the 2006 volleyball incident, which included images associated with the incident. Unfortunately, the images had to be censored. However, I found the uncensored images that Mutahar found. I can only show one of the images, but you want to see the rest of the images, I will link a document in the description. In the image, it shows a date and time of the incident, saying September 27th, 2006 at 10:44. The rest of the images show blood on the ground, along with what appears to be cheerleaders lying dead on the ground, blurred out. However, there's a big discrepancy with the date on the image. The 2006 Platte Canyon shooting also took place on September 27, 2006. The image still raises questions, however. Where did these images come from? Are they real? I tried reverse searching the images on 10i.com, but nothing showed up. There's a lot of theories to this volleyball incident, like it was an assassination attempt gone wrong, or it was a social experiment and was covered up by the government, or finally, it's all a hoax. I hate to break it to all the conspiracy theorists out there, but this is 100% a hoax. The first documentation of the incident being on 4chan is already a red flag, and the fact that there isn't a single bit of information out there besides some Reddit posts and 4chan posts. It is possible that this could be just a misunderstanding. Similar school shootings occurring in 2006, however, that big detail is the volleyball game. Despite all of that, it's still very interesting to look into. A shooting that became forgotten, eventually becoming a niche internet mystery. The biggest thing that throws me off in this mystery is the images. Where did they come from? It's possible the images were created by someone for the purpose of the mystery, but it's still crazy how much effort was put into the images just for them to be nearly forgotten. But who knows? Maybe it is real. Maybe the images are real. And maybe the shooting was covered up.